May 15th, 2011, Poveglia, Venetian lagoon. It took 18 agonizing months for God's wrath to subside after claiming almost 50,000 victims. No other European city of the early 17th century was better prepared for the plague than Venice, with its strict sanitary restrictions, its efficient public health office, and the first quarantine stations in the world. And yet, disaster struck in 1630. It was the entourage of the Duke of Mantua that brought the plague to Venice, and within a few weeks, the Black Death was raging through the narrow streets and canals of the city and the lagoon. For months, the air was filled with the smell of putrefaction and the pungent smoke of the crematoria, which could no longer cope with the huge number of corpses that needed to be burnt. Consequently, most of the dead bodies were just covered with lime and earth so that the dogs would not eat them. Doctores with preposterous bird-like beak masks stuffed with herbs and spices against the deadly miasmas bled the few people who could still afford the procedure. Everyone who was able to fled the city. Every day, more than 500 people lost their lives. Public life came to a standstill, and bread and wine prices went through the roof. Gangs of looters roamed the streets of the city, throwing even the living into the wheelbarrows for dead after robbing them first. Whether beggar or nobleman, the authorities did not hesitate in deporting to one of the lagoon's quarantine islands anyone who showed the slightest symptom of the disease or had come into contact with an infected person. One of these islands was Poveglia, a place of death, hell on earth. Tens of thousands of people were crowded into an area of 3 hectares. The air was filled with the smell of burning bodies and festering sores, the screams of the sick and the moans of the dying. Hundreds of boats moored off the island's coast, forming a barrier, and a flag marked the spot up to which the deported were allowed on the shore. Beyond that spot was the gallows, which was used for the execution of those who defied the authorities' instructions. During the course of the various epidemics that the city of Venice suffered, a total of more than 160,000 plague victims were burnt on the island of Poveglia. Their dark ashes covered the entire surface of the island. In 1922, the former lazzaretto for the plague sufferers was transformed into a mental hospital, but only a few years later it was closed again after a series of mysterious deaths. Until the present day, Poveglia was off limits, for locals as well as for tourists. Keep out, a haunted place. But exactly the place where Urs Bühler wanted to continue his investigation. The little vaporetto chugged towards...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?